Mikey Dredd, Mother Nose, and Roxy Romeo. The only team keeping you lit in Philly.
Philly's Power 99, Rise and Grind Morning Show, Mother Nose, Roxy Romeo, and Dredd. And we have a guest that has walked into the studio with us. I can call this man a living legend. You like to be called a legend?
Oh, yeah.
He has a brand new book out right now called The Art and Science of Respect. Everyone give it up for Jay Prince, y'all. Yeah. Jay Prince in the studio. Living legend. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm blessed.
I know that's right. You straight off Atlantic City, right?
Yeah.
How we do down there?
Oh, man.
Have a good time?
We winners.
Okay. Always good to be a winner.
Yeah, we winners, for sure.
Let's talk about this book right fast. So this is a memoir book, right? So is this about your life, about your experiences? What exactly, talk to the people, tell me exactly what this book is about.
Well, this book is my autobiography of my life. You know, my wins, my losses, everything happened in between. You know, I had an opportunity to share, you know, all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the blueprints and the formulas that I use to become successful. I wanted to leave this as a part of my legacy with my fans.
You've had a lot of wins and losses in your life. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of my kids, my family, my friends. You know what I mean? Nothing can top, you know, the things that God made and blessed me with. So those are my proudest events.
Now, you're the CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records, plus you're also a boxing manager, formerly managed Floyd Mayweather. You currently manage Philly native right here, right? Are you still managing Brian Jennings?
Oh, yeah.
How did that come about? How did you meet up with him?
Well, you know, I observed Brian fighting some fight here in Philly, and I said, I want to be in business with that guy.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Brian, and you know what I mean? We brainstormed a little bit, and I was able to come in and take his career to a different level.
Yeah, good guy, too. Really good dude. I can see y'all meshing very, very well.
Yeah, wonderful guy.
Yeah.
How did you become one of the most respected people in hip-hop?
I think by giving respect, you know what I mean? First, I gave respect, and then I earned my respect, and after that, I demanded my respect. But, you know, and I think it's also from having a word. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have a word, and when you have a word, people respect and value you a little more than the normal.
Now, in the beginning, before you started Rap-A-Lot, you were working basically a 9 to 5, right? So we're gonna call it a 9 to 5. What in your heart made you say, you know what, it's time for me to change lanes and get into the hip hop business, get into the rap business? Was there a point in time or a thought or something that happened that you said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to move this way?
Yeah, well, okay, when I was a kid, 8 years old, I always wanted to become a millionaire. You know, I wanted to break the poverty curse where my family was concerned. You know, at 8 years old, I vowed to do that from witnessing all the pain and struggles and different things I witnessed as a kid. From there, my brother, his name was Sir Rap-A-Lot. He was a rapper, and I made a commitment to him. I said, hey, man, if you know, go in the studio, I'll support you. You know what I mean? You leave the streets alone and don't try to do what I'm doing out here. I'll support you in corporate America. And he tried as long as he could, you know, before getting a 21-year sentence. And, you know, I found myself in a situation where I had to keep my word with the other members of the group and got blessed beyond my expectations.
Right. What's the difference between we'll say street code and business code? Because I'm sure, you know, people in the business don't always live by the street code. I think the street code is a little bit more honorable than business, because I think there's snakes everywhere, but I think there might be a few more snakes in the business than there are in the street because everyone's so money hungry. How do you adapt your street code to your business and still have people respect you?
Yeah, well, you know, you dealing with two different worlds there. You know what I mean? And it's almost like some of them are personal and some of them are business. But I was able to, you know, transition because of a bigger picture of me wanting longevity and different things in my life. So I chose to transition into the in corporate America, and what I had to do was become humble. You know what I mean? I had to practice humility, because the things that go on in the street world you can't bring in the business world.
Right.
And you have to know how to adjust.
Right.
You know.
I want to talk about page 84, because page 84 literally broke my heart. You talked about your mom. You talked about the drugs. You basically did everything for your mother, and that broke your heart. And it was basically the first time that we seen you be emotional, because the code in the streets, you can't have any emotion. You have to be heartless. I want you to talk about tapping into your emotions, because in the black community, the black man is supposed to be strong. You can't cry. You can't have any feelings.
Well, that's what they say. But definitely in the game, you know what I mean? I definitely had to, not go to church. You know what I mean? I practiced not going to church because I didn't want any feelings or emotions while I was in the jungle. You know what I mean? Because showing different things like that can cost you your very life sometimes. So, you know, I purposely stayed away from the word of God, because I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't want to feel anything. You know what I mean? It's a cold place to be, but, you know, when you understand what you have to do to survive, then you do the things you have to do to be victorious out there in the street.
Right.
But it's a place that that's behind me. And I'm glad to be in a place of light now, because that's a dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For someone that is really young, that wants the success that you have, but they are also dealing with the struggles that you had when you were coming up, what advice would you give them to not get caught up in the street life?
Yeah, well, you have to make up your mind to make that transition. You know what I mean? You have to tap into a power that's greater than the power that's keeping you in bondage. You know, I was in bondage for a long time, but for my family, for my kids, you know what I mean? I decided, okay, if I want longevity, then I can't practice these things that's going to take my life or take my freedom. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? You got to make that choice and then have a plan, you know what I mean, with the dreams that you have moving forward. Don't just dream it, have a plan and accomplish it. You know, I tell everybody, I feel like street guys are some of the most brilliant guys in the world if they would just use that same hustle in the streets in corporate America.
How you feel about today's music right now? I see you over there bobbing your head to this Kodak Black and XXX.
Yeah.
You keep your ear to the street also? You got a squad keeping your ear to the street for music that's popping right now?
Oh, man, my sons keep my, you know what I mean, and me, you know what I mean, wrapping myself around the youth. But I actually love the movement that's going on with the music right now. You know, I feel like the youth are more content conscious than ever before, and I love that about them. One thing that I would like to see change where the youth and the music is concerned, that's the pill popping.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of music, you discovered Drake. You're in the city right now. You said you went to both shows Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Hey. You was partying hard this weekend. So how did that come about? How did that happen for people that don't know?
Yeah, let me correct that, because I didn't discover Drake. My son, Jazz Prince, did. You know,
Junior,
Yeah. He brought Drake to me. And, well, actually, he was on tour with Lil Wayne. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I don't want you hanging out there with Lil Wayne like you some kind of fan and come home broke. I say, let Lil Wayne know you want to start a record label. Your dad will give you a meal, so to start you a record label and see if he want to do a partnership with you. He called me back excited about Wayne saying, yeah. I said, well, who your first artist? He said, Drake. I say, let me hear him. He played Drake for me. I say, man, wait a minute. This dude singing all over the place. Who else you got?
Right.
He like, Daddy, no, this is the new sound. Trust me on this one. This is the new sound. And then he told me he buzzing. And I had been teaching him about a buzz his whole life at Rap-A-Lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At marketing meetings. I preached and I wrote about it in my book, The Importance of Buzzes. And, you know, we flew Drake in and, you know, the rest was history, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why didn't you guys sign Drake? Why didn't that happen?
Well, I went on to the boxing world, you know what I mean? And I want to give him the next generation, him and Wayne, you know what I mean? They had a vision that they wanted to do together. So, you know, you have to let them do their thing sometime.
Right. Now, Drake was just in a beef with Pusha T, and the word came out that you told Drake not to respond. Don't go and get into the back and forth BS. Why did you tell him fall back, don't respond?
Yeah, because I didn't want to see him get in the pig pen. I call it a pig pen. You know what I mean? I didn't want to see Drake go there. You know what I mean? Which he was cocked and loaded to go there, but it was a situation where, you know what I mean? It didn't have a lot of validity to it. Didn't make sense, and I unplugged the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I unplugged it against all odds, and it was a beautiful thing to do.
Now, you squashed everything. The word is Kanye gave you a call and said,
yeah, Kanye. the homie Kanye reached out, told me a family man. You know what I mean? Kanye didn't want, all that drama that went along with that. And it wasn't a good thing, you know what I mean? Because, when you have a history of sitting back observing where those beefs can go, then, anybody with some sense speak up and prevent that before it escalates and go to them places of no return.
The OG put his foot down.
You are so laid back. I can't even see you getting mad. Like, you just seem like the most laid back guy ever.
I don't get mad that much.
But one beef that has been taking over headlines, everybody is talking about because already on and popping, is Cardi and Nicki. What do you think about that whole situation?
Well, I would like to put some gloves on both of them and invite them to the ring.
Let's get a boxing match going.
It won't last long.
Who you taking?
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Seems like Cardi might have a little more street in her, though.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think she had a little more practice fighting, too.
Is it true that you reportedly urged Biggie to leave L.A. ahead of his murder? Because, let me tell you something, I strongly believe that he would still be here if he didn't go to L.A. And I say it every day, I wish he didn't go to L.A.
Yeah, no, that's a true story. I turned my bus around. I was out there recording with Scarface, and when I heard that they were shooting a video out there, I turned my bus around and went to the video shoot and spoke with Puffy first, and just kind of, let him know the danger that I felt, the different things I heard, and told him, man, y'all need to get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went on the tour bus and spoke with Biggie as well, and, expressed my feelings with him as well. And, I left, and that wasn't, a week or so later, wasn't a good ending to that story.
Mm.
Wow. Now, speaking of beef, you jumped in the beef game before. You had a little song out there. What
was the name of it?
It was called.
Was it the courtesy call?
Yeah.
Or was it a real song?
No, it was a courtesy call.
Oh, that was a courtesy call. Yeah, that's a warning before destruction.
A warning shot.
Yeah.
So, what is your beef with? You talked about Diddy. Is there a beef there, or was you just putting your arm out and say, listen, hold up a little bit?
Yeah, I just wanted all those brothers to not, step on my feet where Drake was concerned. You know what I mean? A lot of times, in this game, people will abuse their authorities. And, when one is on my feet, I like to let a man know, hey, man, you on my feet, get off my feet. So that's what that was about.
Right.
Mr. Prince, we live in a world where everyone wants someone to follow them. What does it take to be a natural-born leader?
Well, once again, having a word, you know what I mean, giving respect, earning respect. I can't run away from that word respect because don't nobody want to follow anyone they don't respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people respect the wrong thing, but I think the real essence of being a leader is, being a good follower. It's hard to know how to lead if you're not a great follower. And from there, you have to have some respect about yourself.
Right. Now, you had a conversation or some words with Colin Kaepernick. What did you have to say to him? I mean, you don't have to say exactly, but in a nutshell, because I'm sure that was a private conversation that you want to keep to yourself. Yeah. But for, people that are listening out there that heard that you had a conversation with him, what was it like?
Yeah, I want to inspire the brother, to I gave him the words that Larry Hoover left me with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop swinging.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just encourage the brother to move forward. You know what I mean? Keep on standing for what he believes is right. And, you know, that was the real basis of that conversation.
Right.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there anyone that you are working with, that you're dealing with right now, that you think is the next to come up that we don't know about?
Yeah, y'all probably don't know about the, I'm part owner of YBN.
Are you really?
And Almighty J.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely, the new Rap-A-Lot New Wave. My son Jay is here with me. We are partners with all three of those.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
3 of them right now.
Why did I think there was like 10? I could swear I saw an interview and he was like, yeah, there's like 10 of us.
Mr. Prince, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, going to hell. I don't want to go there.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? If it's a place, I hear it's a place. I hear it's hot there. I hear ain't nothing good there, so I don't want to be in that place.
Right.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
And why do you think people are scared of you?
I don't know. You know, I have an idea. I think a lot of people that's scared of me are wrongdoers. You know what I mean? A lot of those people don't mean right, and they got things up their sleeves, and, you know, if that's the case, they should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you take an excerpt from this book and maybe expand on it and explain it a little bit more? Because this is your memoir, so,
Yeah.
you know, how would you do that?
Yeah, I definitely would like to do that as well, not only in a book, but I'm also entertaining movie conversations.
Right.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot that hadn't been said, and it's a lot to expand on. So you're absolutely right.
Can I just say I'm for black love, and you and Pilar make a beautiful couple.
Is that right?
Yes. And Pilar, me and you know each other from social media. She knows I've been a big supporter of her. I just like that she's finally happy. She's smiling.
Yeah.
You know, we need that.
Don't she have a
Look at Mr.
beautiful
Prince.
smile?
Beautiful smile.
Mr. Prince is smiling too.
Yeah, I love that smile. Beautiful energy.
I know that's right.
I got one quick question. One last question. You have accomplished a lot in your life. I don't think that's deniable. What else is there for you to accomplish? What else would you want to do? What else is on the list of your long resume?
I mean, I definitely want to do this movie. You know what I mean? Either a movie or a nice documentary, you know, something like that, because that's a goal that I haven't accomplished yet. And from there, I just want to have a lot of peace and a lot of fun and just enjoy the journey.
I know that's right. Yeah. Mr. Prince, we appreciate your time. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Tell the people where they can get the book at.
You can get my book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple, iTunes. I also have an audio version that I narrated, and I'm not a speed reader.
Thank you. It was an honor to have you in the studio, and we appreciate you coming by.
Honor and privilege to be here. Thank
you.
Yo, with the station that holds you down with the hottest hip hop
and R&B
joints. It's Philly's Power 99 FM.